Well, looks like HBO is changing the game yet again, with now adding their 2021 slate is now going to be released on HBO Max and theaters. Now, this could be both a good thing and a bad thing. There's a lot of details to unpack, so I'm going to go through each detail point by point, and I'm going to give you a little bit of my opinion on this, what's going on in the situation. It is going to be interesting now due to the pandemic and everything that's going on. I just, wow, there's a lot to go through. First, this is going to give directors this plan, it's going to give directors an opportunity. Now, since the pandemic is getting worse and we don't know when the end's going to happen, a lot of these directors have been being pushed back. Like Wonder Woman's been almost pushed back 2 years. But this opportunity is going to give her a chance. Well, she was the first slate. She was the first film to be put on HBO Max. But seeing this is going to be, it's going to give a lot of people opportunities. Tenet did not do so well, but I gotta say, with this push, it's going to give a lot of directors a chance to be seen, because the more a movie gets pushed back, the more people are just going to forget about it. Now, the downside, personally, is directors, they really want their films to be seen as large and as the crisp, the sound, the editing, everything they want to do is put it on a theater. Now, the downside is it's going to get people accustomed to wanting to watch it at home. Maybe if they have a 65-inch screen or a 42-inch screen, or even are lucky, an 85-inch screen. But the biggest problem here is it's not going to give the directors who have dreamed or just pushed back or how they intended to film it, like the ones they use a different, like an IMAX camera. They can't get that intended vision put on a smaller screen. They want people to watch it in theaters. Now, that's the downside, but again, with the pandemic, we have to think about that. So, now, will this have a negative effect on the movie theaters? Yes, I truly believe that this will have a negative effect, only depending on how long they're going to intend on doing this. So now, they have stated that they're going to do this for about a year, and that's their intention and plan. But we got to know, how long is the pandemic going to be, and when will people be willing to go back to theaters? Now, some experts are saying April is when the vaccine will truly roll out, but some experts are saying that it might be in the end of next year. So this will have a negative effect, and we have to see pretty much the ramifications of how people are adjusting to watching movies at home. So that's what I gotta say. And also the money is gonna really change this. If Warner Brothers is making more money now online than in a theater, then they'll continue doing it. But if they're not, then why would they even bother? Also, I have to say one more thing about Warner Brothers' plan with this 2021 release. I think that they might continue doing this also with the intention of just releasing smaller tier films, like the under $30 million films. I think that's what their plan is going to be, because then they don't have to take that much of a risk. They can boost their content in HBO Max, but at the same time, they don't have to sacrifice putting it into the theater. And they can push in their bigger films like a Wonder Woman or a Dune or The Matrix 4, those kind of movies. This also could be a move for Warner Brothers to boost subscriptions for HBO Max. As of recently, they've had a low turnout. Not bad, but they've wanted a little bit more. So after looking at Disney Plus, which is a near 70, it's actually passed 70 million subscribers in less than a year. That's what they're going to want, and that's what they're not seeing, and they want to catch up. So I think that also this could be a plan to just boost up subscriptions. And one more thing to that is that this is not going to be intended for theaters overseas. So any release overseas will be just theater only, because HBO Max is not there, and that's what they want to do. But right now in the United States, they definitely need to push those subscriptions, because they need a lot more, because that's what content they want. They want this subscription HBO Max to be successful. So this could be their plan, and I really see that as another option to their plans. Now, another question people are going to be asking is, will other studios follow suit? I say the studio to really push forward for this is going to be Disney. Disney, I'm telling you right now, Disney is going to be pushing for this as soon as possible because they're already won. I already told you that they have 70 million subscribers, over that number, and that's just right now. At the end of the year, it could be 80 million, and you know they're going to want to be pushing for more. So all their content, they're going to be pushing for their Disney Plus subscription because they have not been doing well in theaters. Other years they have been doing successful, they've been doing a great job, they've been making billion-dollar films, but they're going to want to do this. Now, Universal, on the other hand, I don't think they can do it because, well, they don't have a service that is going to be pushing for it. They're going to have to charge people, and people aren't going to be used to that. They don't want to be charged the outrageous what Disney did was $30. That's just going to be kind of ridiculous. Now, a lot of people are not going to want the $20 to $25, and they're going to push it even higher to $30. Not a lot of people are going to want that. But I'm going to say is that it's going to be definitely Disney. And we'll have to wait and see for others, but those are going to take a long time, but they might do it. Now for final points, I'm going to have to say this. This is good for now. This is a good move. Pandemic, we need to keep people safe inside. This is good. But for the future, I don't see this as a viable option. I'm still concerned. I still like watching movies in theaters. That's what I love to do. It's almost like my temple. But I don't want this to be sticking. I do get the option. I do feel the importance. A lot of these studios are just hemorrhaging on money. They need the money. So I understand. Another thing, I have concerns. My biggest concern is that a lot of these films, you see the Old Guard or Extraction. A lot of those films, they've been kind of buried. You'll see them for a month, maybe a week, and then nobody will talk about them for a while. So no plans of sequels or merchandise. That's not the huge thing that you should be concerned about for a film, but you want people to remember your film. You're going to be remembering The Alien from Now or Die Hard. There's a lot more. But even classics, like even you go way, way back to, not even way back, but even think of like Titanic or the whole Avengers slate or The Godfather. Those are some classic films that we remember for days. And now on Netflix and Disney Plus or whatever streaming service you have, even Apple, you're just not going to remember these films. And that's going to be my biggest concern is, will we remember these films? And at the end of the day, I've noticed that two things. One of the biggest, pretty much cultural moments that we've had during this pandemic. Now, a little bit before, but just still carrying on, was The Mandalorian. Every week, Twitter trends. Amazing. That's good. That's great. This is actually making people excited to watch Star Wars again. Wow, that's impressive. Another one was The Tiger King. People couldn't stop talking about it. It seemed like everywhere people wanted merchandise. They wanted to talk about it. That brings subscriptions there. Those are TV shows. And that's the difference. They're TV shows. When you're at home, a 30-minute to 40-minute, even an hour seems a lot more to manage than a 2-hour or 3-hour film. It's just a lot easier. And those are the ones that people are going to be pushing for. Now, those other films, they're not the big blockbusters, but I mean that's where we're going. Like, is it going to be? We're going to be thinking about numbers, or is an Excel sheet going to be the one guiding the studios? You don't want that to be the thing. But last and not least, the last thing I have to say is that the money is going to push it all. So I could say whatever I want, but at the end of the day, it's all about that money. And studios will only drive for the money. Creativity, yes, they want that, but it's going to be down to the money. So if this pushes subscriptions for HBO Max to near Netflix levels, they're going to continue doing this. Now, Disney's already on track for that, but we need to see the money. And that's what I got to say. So thank you for tuning in and giving me the time. But yes, this is what I have to say about that subject, and I hope to talk more about it in the future. But we'll have to wait and see, and hope to see the good and see the bad. So thank you. and good night.